Well, guys, it turned into a disaster pretty quickly in here. But that's why we're going to start working on shelves and drawers and all that. I kind of just need to see what I have, see what types of storage I need, and, narrow a lot of this down because I have a lot of my grandpa's tools and extra stuff, building parts and just a little bit of everything, which is all good to have. I'm not going to throw it away, but I might just not keep it all in here. Maybe I'll keep some tubs of duplicates and stuff like that out there. I got 4 soldering irons. I can choose my, I got my nice one. I'll keep that on the workbench, tucked out of the way, and then maybe keep an extra one in a drawer if I need to. But yeah, we got, just random stuff. Little tweezers and drill bits, which this might be a nice organizer to have on the bench. This thing is ugly. I don't really care for it. But I had an idea where I'll build a shelf here on this side, maybe do 2 of them stacked and do little drawer insert slides, just something for it to rest on above the bottom one. And it'll be too high all along here. And then I can still use those because that's nice to be able to see what you're looking for. But then I'll be able to have some wood and kind of tie it into what everything else looks like. Just throwing that on the workbench kind of takes away a little bit how, classy and clean the wood looks, right? But just, if you're a Malrower, you know how it is. You got electrical components, decoders, all sorts of boards and stuff. You just accumulate things. I mean, I can make a whole drawer for detail parts. And that's just all Details West stuff there that I haven't used, but... And then you gotta have a drawer for like half-done projects, right? Like, here's a bunch of just little pieces and stuff of kits and whatever. Paint brushes, I might do like a upright holder on the surface here. I used to use this at the old house, but I'll probably have a spot for like pens, pencils, paint brushes that I use, and then I have 10 packs of new brushes. You just replace them as you go. But I'm kind of thinking maybe like a shelf right above the outlet here, so I can have maybe a little shelf underneath it. I'm not sure yet. And then maybe kind of stop that shelf here. I got this lamp. I might just put that right here. It's kind of center. I can swing it this way or swing it that way, depending on where I'm working. I'm going to have a good spot to roll the chair under here, but I'm thinking maybe from here on, maybe 2 sections of drawers. I don't want to use these anymore, so I can, have some organized a little better, have drawers built in there. And I'm thinking with how much stuff I got, I mean, all these tools, you don't want something like that sitting out on the bench, but these are handy. You want them nearby. I think we'll maybe just fill that in with drawers too. It'd be nice to have another spot for the chair to roll, but I'm kind of thinking that's my main working spot. This will be a spot for maybe like laying something bigger out. Kind of more of a standing spot. And yeah, I maybe have a stool in here eventually, or I can still sit here. I just can't roll under like I would prefer. But I think that'll be fine. I'll have those little drawers there. I'd like to have the 3D printer in here, and that'd be kind of a good spot. Have a good outlet there. So maybe stop that little shelf and drawers. Yeah, I think we're going to start kind of just a little bit of time. We'll just, build some nice looking stuff for on top of the work area. I don't want to take up too much of this, so I think from here over some kind of shelf, maybe 2-3 shelves in there, for little stuff. Yeah, I think it's just kind of building as I go and seeing what else I need to put on here. You know, like all these, this isn't even the good stuff, but like this is kind of my main tools I use all the time, right? An old, what is that? Can't even tell what this is. Accurate? Yeah. Who knows? Use these boxes for everything, but I kind of want to get away from that. Anyway, just, you know, pin vices, good little tweezers, locking tweezers, X-Acto knives. I don't need a track gauge in there, but scissors, screwdrivers, files. That's all stuff I use constantly. Just constantly grabbing a different tool when you're cleaning a kit up, working on a freight car, whatever. You know, you got a whole box of X-Acto knives and stuff like that. I might want to do like a kind of a narrow drawer right up top, just to be able to pull that out quick, grab what I need out of that thing. It's kind of hard to organize this on the bench and then be able to see what you're looking for, because I want to keep it kind of tidy. I want to have a good workspace, and that's my thought process on that. So let's get to building something. This has been a little bit long just talking, but everybody's got lots of crap like this, I know it. And you collect tools, and you got tools for one specific thing, and that's good. So we'll see what we can do with some organization in here. Alright, so I'm kind of at a weird point where I don't know where I want tools. I got all the tools I think I'm going to want and need on my bench, but I really won't know how I want to store them, where I want to keep them for easy access until I start working on some projects. So I got a good start with a little shelf. Here, I'll show you in a second. But I think I'm just going to start working on some projects, see what happens. You know, it'd be nice to have a drawer for certain things, but all the other things I want easy access to right on the bench. So we're going to kind of show you what I got going on, and then I just need to test it out. So there's no big, oh, this is how I organize my workbench. This is what I did, you know, before I did anything else. It's going to be just a progressive little changes, seeing what works. So I kind of took out what I usually use, what I need, stuff I found. I organized a few things, just got rid of some of the boxes. I built this little shelf. I thought it was just kind of a good plan to have it above the outlet and be able to tuck some things in there, have some other things up, easy access. Built these little 3 compartments for pencils and paintbrushes. Those are nice to have right in front of you. And this is just that random box of tools still. I don't know where I want it. I don't know if I want to put a magnet strip on the front of this to stick some to, or have those in a drawer under here eventually. This vise, I don't know if that's a good spot. You know, you kind of have to see how that works with the drawers. Maybe that needs to be closer. But with sitting here, this is all I really need is up to here, so I can build drawers over there, and that'll be easy access to grab tools. But there are still certain tools you want just right here. Got the lamp mounted. That's nice because I can swivel it over here if I'm working on something there. Over here further, you know, out, get a good angle, whatever you need, you know. I've kind of always used lamps like this. I've had one with a magnifying glass on it, but I think one of these is good. By lighting above, I made sure I had 3 good can lights directly above the workbench. So I'm kind of plenty good on lighting, and this just really helps with pinpointing certain angles, whatever you need. These lights are fantastic. I did stop them at the computer because you don't really need them here, and all that's going to do is obstruct the view. Still, I want to use these. Not quite sure how yet. Maybe you just make a special shelf where these can slide into it. Make like 2 of them. put little tracks on the sides, and then have a shelf, maybe 2 shelves in here. Then I can put engines and cars I'm working on. I start detail projects frequently and kind of all over the place when I'm waiting for parts to be ordered and whatever. So I like having, you know, half-done projects, or which not ideal, but having cars that are waiting to be weathered or graffitied or whatever sitting there, I think that'd be just fine. I don't want to do too much on this wall. I don't want this to feel overly cluttered. And it's kind of getting there quick, but I just need to start working on some projects so I know, you know, what tools are important, what do I need right here, easy access to, what can be in the drawers, lesser use stuff. You know, I have a good idea, but until I kind of use this bench the way I want it, I won't know what I need on the bench. Like the soldering iron, honestly, for how often I solder, I might keep that in a drawer just out of the way, and bring it out when I'm doing some decoders or whatever. But then like drill bits, kind of thought, nice spot to have them. You can see what you're grabbing. Kind of always looking for drill bits. I'd rather not have to go dig through a drawer and get the right size. So just having a nice spot for those is good. And then kind of have a few projects I want to get to shortly. Maybe we'll have a video on this skid loader kit shortly. We'll see. And then this is a long awaited project, Canadian Cab Dash 9. I have the Dash 9. I've just been putting this, I don't know who makes it or what, or bought this probably 10 years ago. But I got some grab irons on there, and that might be one of the first ones that goes in the spray booth. We'll see. But I've got just motor parts, car parts, like couplers and boxes and all sorts of components in those little things. This is one of those that I use very frequently, and it's nice to have organized when I'm looking for detail parts for an engine. But you know, you just kind of accumulate extra things. You buy multiples of engine detail parts. But that might be a drawer thing later on. We'll see. I haven't quite determined how I want to build that. So I think a lot of this might end up in there. I want to keep this kind of minimal. I don't want to have a bunch of shelves, a bunch of stuff hanging. I want just the important things on this part of the bench. Over here we can have these little drawers of, and these are all basically going to be emptied out. This is just random crap that I shoved in there over the years. But it'll be organized a little better, and I think having these little, the clear will be nice so you can see what's in it and have just a row of those. But yeah, we're not going to get too far in organization until I start doing something. So I'm thinking that'll be the next video, is doing something once. I'll tell you guys what, it sure is nice to have my own space where I can bring all this stuff out and not ever have to think about packing it up again. And that was really the whole idea with the container, is if I move, this thing moves with me. It's not packing all my tools into a box, packing all the trains in the box, tearing down a layout. That was the whole thing I wanted to avoid with this. So it's nice to have all this stuff out there. It's nice to go through some boxes and find some projects I was working on and excited about. And I can get back to that and decide which ones I want to start on again. And I'm looking forward to doing some work, and I think that's kind of where we're at. We're going to test out the workbench. It's a really great space, and we're going to break out some kits, some things that I'm excited about, and see what happens. So I appreciate you guys checking out the video. I think eventually I'll have a dedicated how I organize my workbench video. But until I really narrow it down to what works, I won't have anything to show. So thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you in the next video.